Okay, welcome to my channel. This is me Kunal Raj from K3RFX, and today we are going to do cloth reveal in Houdini. So I don't know what is this toxic behavior because I couldn't find much cloth reveal tutorials in Houdini. Okay, if I search this and if I do this, you will find one tutorial which is done 2 years ago, and then this is just a show reel sort of, but there are none. Okay, there are all blender and there is some or the other thing, but nothing which is accurate. Also, if I open this, anyone who is starting out, this is a great tutorial by the way, but anyone starting out, this is a lot of notes and a lot of things. By the way, a big shout out to Pizzola. He does a really amazing tutorials. Okay, but coming to the point, it's too much for someone starting out. Myself, if I follow this, I would get stuck. Okay, so let's do a simple one in which we will do. This is not the final one, this is just a test. Okay, and if you say something like this, okay, so we just want to consider we have a cloth like this and we just need to pull it, that's it. And also in Houdini there are lot of ways to do the same thing. Okay, so you might find some new way in some new tutorial, so just let me know in the comments. Right, I think we should start. Right, so I assume you have some basic knowledge of Houdini before you start. And usually they say you need to keep your geometry spreadsheet here, and I usually keep it when I'm working on, but for the moment I'll keep it here. And you'll find the shortcuts and key presses over here. My right click will be here, and I'm using 20.5 version. And okay, I think I should start rather than showing you a dark black screen. Right. Okay, to start with, we'll take a model and we'll go to Sketchfab. I'll put this link in the description. Okay, so we take this model, just download OBJ format, and then save it somewhere wherever you want. Okay, and then you need to extract it. And so, like when you download it here, you'll have a zip file, extract it. And once you extract, you'll add one another zip file which you need to extract. So you get this full body.obj. So let's put a geometry in place to start with. Geo. Okay, this would be a same, entire thing would be inside. If you know the basic concepts, you'll know why this is been used. But someday I will do a detailed tutorial on this. Okay, so let's jump inside and put a file node. Okay, how did I get this? Just follow here again, tab, and then search file and enter. Okay, then we go to this and we import the source full body.obj. Right, we can't see it. Where is it? Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Okay, here it is. Okay, so before we start anything, we need to scale it properly, because whatever models are available, sometimes they are very big. So how do we compare this? If we press space and if we press 1 2, okay, if we press 2, this is between 125 to 125, so almost 250 meters if I'm not wrong. So space and 1 to change the perspective, and let's put a Tommy, so a human scale. And if we click here, Tommy, say, to find Tommy we have to go here, so we need to scale the car accordingly. Tommy is here, and if I do the car and zoom out, this is the car scale. Right, so let's scale it. So let's put a match size, right, scale to fit, and then we have the car here. So keeping the reference, we can just scale it. Right, let's press middle mouse and just scale it, and then here let's keep it to min, so it comes above the origin. And a human would be the size somewhere around this. Okay, so done, we have the scaling done. So we'll disable Tommy for at the moment, and then this is our car. Usually whenever we import a model, you need to just use attribute delete and just delete the attributes which are not needed. For this case we don't need any attributes because we are not going to do any shading, lighting and all. So this will remove the UV shade and everything. And then this is a car model which is sorted. Also If you press W, you can toggle between wireframe mode and your normal mode. And if you press Shift W, you can just disable this. So it looks funny. Okay, so let's come to our cloth. Okay, we need a cloth, right? So let's search cloth. That's not what we need to search. We need to search planar patch. Okay, there are two options which we can use. One is planar patch. Okay, we don't need this at present, we'll just hide it, meaning we'll keep it as a template. Whenever we select planar blah, blah, when we before we start, we need to press D, come to visualize geometry guide. Okay, guide, and increase the size of this floating genome, okay, a bit. That will help. And guide font, make it tiny because it overlaps later on. And save, I am saving it as a default. If you want, you can save only for that session, right? And we come to planar page. Let's disable this, let's focus on this, right? A standing cloth. Planar patch versus grid. Okay, why don't we take grid? People might ask, why don't we take grid? So usually when we are working with cloth, this structure helps for a better result. The triangulation in planar patch versus the grid, usually this gives a better result. And starting with planar patch, why is it standing? We just need to align it to zx plane. So z is this way depth and x is this way, so zx plane. Okay, and we have it on the origin. To zoom in, right, and then zoom in, right click and then just drag. Okay, so now we'll just increase the size. If to increase the resolution, you just need to press decrease this, so edge length, so that will increase. But be careful, be extremely careful when you're doing this, because if you do it very less, very small, then it will take a lot of time. Just see, performing lloyd relaxation, god knows what it is, but you'll have really fine thread. This is good for final renders, but now always when you're working or doing R&D, this is basically we are setting up, right? Whenever you are setting up the whole simulation, you can work on a medium res so that it gives faster results. Okay, let's compare it with this car. Now we still need it to be on the Z. Let's make it like 4. No, it is still less, so 10. See, it is taking time to load, so let's make it. I have a potato laptop, so please bear with me. So I'll make it 8, right? And this I'll make it 4. So here let's add a transform node and then translate it to 5. Move it here, it's too much. Let's move it to 2. Yeah, this is fine. We don't want this cloth dropping animation. We are doing a cloth reveal. But anyways, if you want to take the dropping part as well, then also we can take, right? So after this, so Vellum cloth, configure cloth. Okay. This will basically add some constraint and convert it into a cloth, right? Before this, it is just a grid or just a planar patch with no configuration, whether it is a cloth, whether it is a rigid body, nothing, right? So after Vellum cloth, we need to add a Vellum solver, right? This has the brain. This is the brain of the simulation. You can see the brain and you can see the cloth. I like the small icons. Also, here you can see some numbers: 2700 frames, 1400 points. Okay, that is basically the resolution, what it is. If I increase it to 0.1, the number of points and frames will increase. That will slow down your thing. Cool. Now, you could, before solving this, okay, we'll solve this first and we'll just play. Before playing this, I'll just reduce it to 60 frames because I don't want it to fall down and just wait until eternity, right? And other thing is, select this, which is your real time. We'll play it like this only right now and we'll see. Oh my god, what is this? This is not what we are here for. And why is it so fast? Okay, so we have to press this for real time. Oh my god, but still, where is my car? Is it because it is invisible? No. We need to connect this to this which says collision geometry. This is something what I like. When you come to here, this is constraint, this is collision. So let's select collision. Okay, and then play. Ooh, nice, nice. I like it. Hope you like it as well, and also like this video, right, and subscribe. Cool. So if your simulation is running slow, once you go in very complex one, what you need to do is just come to Vellum solver, visualize, and turn this collision geometry off, because anyways we are visualizing it here. Turn it off so it will play a bit faster. Okay, it will calculate a bit faster, and we don't have a ground plane, right? So the easiest way to add the ground plane rather than adding a grid and then adding it here, just select Vellum solver and solver, and then select ground position. So ground position is at 000. So basically here. So if you visualize, it will show this is your ground, right? And we can play now. I wanted this interaction with the ground. So we have the interaction with the ground. So what we do next is we need something to pull this off, right? So pull this from behind. There are multiple ways, but I'll do a simpler way, which would be easier to get started, right? So let's take a geometry. Let's take a box. Also, if you search cube, we get a box. So that is a great thought put by Houdini. So once we select here, we have this box. We need to get it to this end. So what we'll do is press enter. So we get this controls, take it here, and quickly let's move it to this section. Okay, and we'll keep it as it is, right? I don't want to change the shape. We'll keep as it is, and then let's attach it to the geometry. So how do we attach it? We'll use the Vellum attach to geometry, and then we just connect it here. And as soon as we attach it here, we will see some constraints which is attached to the car. So if we play it, okay, let me disable this. We'll have this weird sort of simulation which we don't want. So we'll again visualize it with the Vellum attach. Okay, so we need these constraints to get attached to this box. So how do we do that? We will add a merge first of all. Okay, and let's merge the box as well as the geometry, right? And for the box we need to assign a group so that it knows which part needs to be attached. So what we do is we just add a group. We just create a group, okay, which will be our pulling box, and we don't forget to convert it first to a point attribute. Group type should be point, okay, because we are working in point, and from here we need to define the point. So what we do is group would be points, and again target group would be points, and the pulling box, right? But after this we still have this problem of a couple of points getting attached to the entire planar patch points. So to solve this, we just need to go to the max distance and just crank up the value a bit so that we just select a few points which is closer to the edge, right? Then you select Vellum solver. Let's have this visualize this car in the background, and we just play it. Okay, looks cool. Okay, so we have this cloth which is attached to some weird box, right? And we'll pull it. Don't worry, we'll pull it also. So we have this attached here. So whenever we are doing this pull or reveal animation, we wouldn't want the box to the front view to have this sort of visualize where it looks like someone is holding that, right? So we need to just animate it a bit. Let's add a transform and get this box down. Okay, so to visualize this, if you click on transform and press enter, okay, we press enter, and then we just visualize it here. And if we are moving the box, okay, we'll know where the cloth and this would go, right? So from front view, we want the box to be here. So let's add a keyframe. To add keyframe, there are two methods. One is you click on this keyframe, and the other would be you just press Alt and you left click on the translate, right? So that's adding a keyframe, right? So let's visualize from the side view. Let's start from the start and let's move this up, right? So we start from here, click on this, so that adds a keyframe. Then let's further get it down a bit so that it is not visible. Don't forget to click on this keyframe, and now we need to pull it off. So we'll take it somewhere around 30, say 30 frames, and we need to pull it in the minus z direction. Okay, z direction is towards here, we need to pull it here. So minus 10, right? That is too much, but that is fine for me. And we'll pull it towards the top, right? And then we add a keyframe. Let's visualize how it looks. Okay. Weird, but we have a starting point to go ahead, right? After this, let's visualize it properly. So what we'll do is we'll add a merge node here. Cool. So from here to here, let's visualize it properly with let's let the box be there. We'll hide it later on. Okay. You might be seeing this weird. Okay, I'll just disable this edge. Might be seeing this weird cloth sticking to the car, which shouldn't be. So for that, we need to increase the substep of at least to 4 when we are working with cloth same. Constant iterations, we can reduce it to maybe 30 or so. And then let's plate. So the cloth is suddenly not sticking to the car, which looks great, right? And if you want to further, add wrinkles to this, it looks like it is a bit hard. Add wrinkles, then just reduce the band stiffness. So basically, that will add a bit of more wrinkles. You can increase the rest length to maybe 1.1, which will add, which will expand, which will expand the cloth to 10%. Okay, so that is there, and then you could further reduce the stiffness of the cloth if you want to make it a bit softer, and then you can increase the density, which will make the cloth heavier, and then you can just run the sim. So we have this weird initial thing because of the rest length, because we have increased it. So I don't think we need it here, so we will keep it 1.0, which is 1. And even density, we have it calculate varying, so based on the size of the cloth, it will basically adjust the mass and density. So this is fine. Yeah, that's it, right? That's it with the cloth reveal. Okay, so what we need to get rid of, anyways, this box won't be there when we are doing a cloth reveal. If we remove the merge and if we just show the Vellum solver, we have this. Okay, we can't see the box, can't see it, not needed. And to increase the resolution, before you jumping back to planar patch and increasing this, let's cache this out. Okay, Vellum IO, this is important to cache. I would usually go with explicit, and then I don't know when I was working on that poop project. Anyways, cloth reveal, and I will make a folder 04 cache, keeping it organized. I'll make a v1 $fo.pgo.sc. Okay, and accept. Save the cache 1 to 90 frame range, and if you click middle mouse here, you'll know which folder it is. Now we have it cached and it will play really smooth. Okay, cool. So the good thing is, now since we have it cached, we can add a Vellum post process. which is meant to increase the resolution and do some final tweaks, as the name suggests. Vellum post process. So let's add loop, which will increase the density of the resolution of the cloth. Okay, without affecting anything, because we are working directly from cache, and this will still run smooth. Okay, and we have a higher res cloth, and then we could we could extrude by thickness, which will add some thickness to the cloth, and not that much as well. You don't want a blanket for the cloth, right? So extrude by thickness, and then if we have some sharp edges, we can just smoothen it out by adding some spatial blur, not this much, just a bit. If you want, you can further add loop by 2, so we have much higher resolution cloth. And if you want to merge only the car, we can just get this and merge it here, and then we could merge it here and press Y and just cut the connection, right? To just give it a different look, I'll just add a color for timing, and add it just a blue color. And for the cloth, let's duplicate this, alt and drag. Okay, and then let's color it maybe orange. Why not? Why not orange? Okay, I know it's looks shitty, but still okay. It will play a bit slow because we have added more two subdivisions to the cloth, but here we have. Also, in case if you want to add a camera to it, you can press U to jump out, select your framing, whichever you like. If you want a side view, if you want a cross view, ortho, what do you call this? A perspective view, right? Perspective. Let's select this, press Alt and left click to frame the camera. And if you want to add some animations, you just click on this keyframe. You come around 36 frames, not that much also. We'll go around this and we'll just zoom it like this, pan the camera and add a keyframe, right? I think it is running a bit slow, so I will reduce this subdivision to 1, and then let's select camera 1 and play it. Okay, so a basic cloth reveal. I thought I would keep it a bit smaller, but this is a detailed guide for just some basic notes. Press L to organize, but not needed here because it will mess a bit. So I'll keep it as it is, and then play around. Try changing the cloth settings. Try changing the attach distance and rerun the same. Don't forget to rerun the cache if you change any setting upstream. And also you can further decrease the edge length to increase the resolution. And yeah, that's pretty much. You will find the project file if you need in the description. I will just put a link to the Gumroad. You can download this project on Gumroad for just $1. Maybe I might increase the price for this marvelous simulation. But yeah, we will be coming up with more advanced one. This is just to get started and see how the tutorial performs. So if you like, just subscribe, and whatever shit needs to be done, please do it. And we'll be up with some more tutorial. Until then, enjoy this car simulation. Put some music here, and then